Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm Vikova, you can call me V, and today I am playing more Roadwarden, which I'm really excited to return to. Um, I enjoy reading out the story. I've been enjoying the atmosphere of it and the setting, so I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Hello and welcome to Rowan, to Quirrell, to the Nine-Tailed System, to Sam and to Teferax. It is lovely to have you all here today. I hope you're feeling well, and I hope those of you who are feeling unwell feel better soon. I'm really sorry to hear about that, Kayama. Alright. To the game. Travels invite death. Well. But not us. Obviously not us. Sam says, I really enjoy listening to V reading out basically anything. Oh, thank you. Kama says, I'd really rather be sleeping, but Quirrell gets so excited about V's streams that sleep isn't happening anyway. Aww. Quirrell says this game is way bleaker than V's sunny outlook really deserves. I don't feel like I have that sunny of an outlook. I think I just have a sunny vibe that makes everything I say sound sunnier than it is. Also, it can't be that bad. We're gonna befriend some necromancers. Okay, so we've made it to the inn. We're on our way to the necromancer village. I really hope we can befriend those necromancers. And I'm excited that we're pagan background, because it seems like that will smooth friendship with the pagans. With the necromancers, rather. Rowan says death is just the path to happy necromancers. Yes! Teferax says if travels didn't invite death, how would we meet the necromancers? You are all so right. Thank you. Sam says it can't be that bad, right? Famous last words. Nah. Alright, let's read this. So, the locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire in the stove hardly lightens up the hall. A muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, but after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. You're lucky to show up. Hang on. His voice is deep and soft. Hang on. I don't know if I can do deep and soft. You're lucky to show up. His voice is deep and soft, with a city-like accent. He observes you with keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. I've a keg of decent ale, wormwood, bog muddle, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills a mug carefully and puts it on the countertop. It's going to spoil soon, today maybe, and we don't drink here before the even. I hate to see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, rare even among the southern tribes, and his hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labour. The elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city square. Interesting. Okay. Sorry for a few stutters there. I'll get smoother as I go. Calmly Enveloped, hello! It's lovely to see you here today! Calmly Enveloped says, hi, are you making magical marking on the roads today? Today, I am making a beeline for the necromancers. But you know, I will make markings on the roads if I gotta. Okay. I stand at the counter. I really love this art here. Look at this. The planks let out a creak after every step you make, so you slow down a bit. You could swear that the innkeeper made little to no noise. Here you go. He pushes the mug forward. But just so you know, my pelt of the north doesn't belong to Hovlaven. You can sleep on the floor if you wish so, but if you want a bed or a meal, you have to pay. We may have some leftovers from dinner, but I'd need to check. Okay. Alright, now we're going to choose our approach. We're going to be friendly, supportive, and cordial. I feel like friendly can never really go wrong. So that's definitely on the table. Because this innkeeper feels quite standoffish, and maybe he would feel more comfortable if we, you know, made him feel more comfortable. And then maybe he would make us feel more comfortable. I guess is what I'm trying to say. That was a little bit circular there, sorry. Okay. Colin Phillips says, because Roadwarden. Oh my gosh. That's really good. I did not get that until you explained it. Thank you, Calmly Enveloped. You got me good. Let's see. We could also be playful. We could use a joke or a witty comment. So outside we were playful, and that seemed like the right move. I don't feel like this innkeeper has much of like a kind of jolly, banterish energy. So maybe that's not the way. We could be distanced and hide our emotions. I feel like that's also something that's always safe to do, but I feel like it's not gonna like make us friends. And I'm here. I'm here in the grimdark world of Roadwarden to make some friends. So, intimidating. I don't know why we would threaten this man whose home we're visiting right now, essentially. Vulnerable. Be sad, tired, afraid, or hopeless. I mean, we could. Again, I don't feel like this person is really inviting vulnerability, but, you know, sometimes when you're vulnerable with people, they're vulnerable back, and that can help forge a bond. I think that's really a thing. Quarrel says, I'm not really sure why necromancers get such a bad rep in general. It is and always has been the most natural thing in the world for the dead to serve the living. Something dies, animal eat it and thrive. Fungus and bacteria break down what they can't and themselves thrive, and then themselves leave a rich soup of broken down nutrients that allow plants to thrive. That is a absolutely lovely way of putting it. I think there is something in our minds that particularly recoils against, I mean, we're so ritually careful of our dead, and we're so, and we're afraid of death, and things like zombies and undead are very uncanny as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that are naturally there to fear, but I think when you start diving into the idea of necromancers as if they were real, you begin to feel like that's true. Well, that's how I felt when I started diving into Toontown. I also feel like there's a lot of room for jokes, and I like that. Rowan says, I'm here in the grimdark world of Roadwarden to make some friends. The essence of Vio's gaming outlook? Yes. I mean, if that was like the tagline for this stream, I'd be okay with that. Okay. Oh, I haven't done narration in so long. I really like narrating sound stories. Sound stories were really, really good. I'm not good at narration anymore. I don't think I would narrate for people now. I feel like I've really lost the ability, the skill. The skill has atrophied is what I'm trying to say. But I do still love reading aloud. Let's see. Let's just be friendly. What do you think? I think friendly's the path. Maybe vulnerable. I think friendly. Rowan votes for friendly. Teferac says, I'm here to make friends and greet necromancers, and I'm all out of people who aren't yet my friends. Yes! Krill says, oh, V, I'm sure to come back to you quickly if you wanted to try it again. I mean, I think that's true. You spend a lot of hours narrating, and you do get your eye back into it. Or your ear back into it, or your voice back into it. I'm not sure which is the best way to put that. But it's very, very time consuming at the moment. I'm putting my time elsewhere, so. We're friendly. We're gonna be friendly. Quirrell says, just here to be extremely gay at everyone. The planks let out a creak after every step you make, so you slow down a bit. You could swear that the innkeeper made little to no noise. Here you go. He pushes the mug forward. But just so you know, my pelt of the north... Oh no, this is still the thing. Ugh, I'm rereading the same thing over again. I'm a dork. Okay. Thanks for the drink. I see you know how to make friends with a road warden. Thank you, I'm a road warden, so I'd never refuse a free drink. Well, let's do the friendly one. There's not a lot of difference between those, honestly. He meets your eyes with a puzzled look, then grabs a wet cloth and starts to wipe down the shelves. From time to time, your conversation is interrupted by splashes of dirty water in a wooden bucket. Well, nothing is truly free. I have work for a soul of the road, but I don't need a new mouth to babble. He speaks slowly yet audibly. I value my time. You should value yours. I guess I drink the ale. Why am I ignoring the ale? This road warden is so suspicious. I'm gonna drink the ale. This is a pub. This is an inn. . dark room and wooden walls of the mug make the liquid look as brown as a chestnut. The lee and spring hits your nose, and the first sip is even too complex, too flowery. While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, the exotic licorice ruins the aftertaste. Now you know why there's so much left. Maybe it takes an acquired taste. Am I actually being poisoned? Have I made an error? This is an ale that is flowery and has licorice in it? Is that normal? I don't know anything about alcohol. Rowan says someday the game is going to poison Vio and then say, "See, I told you so." That's how I'll die. I'll just without question accept some food from someone who hates me in this game. Not in real life. In real life, I'm going to live forever, and let's just leave it at that. The innkeeper nods. I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with a worrying thought I have. Which is? There are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike, but they've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day they may steal our furs, and I've no doubt they're the reason why merchants come here only once. Or the ale? Having bandits around gets expensive. He rubs his hands together, camouflaging his paws. Sorry, I have to pause just because I had a moment there where, because of the nearness of hands and paws, even though it's a different paws, I was imagining he's rubbing his hands together to hide that they're not hands, that they're like animal paws. I just need to share that idle thought, sorry. Back to the serious game. I want you to reach Howler's Dell, northwest from here. It's the largest settlement around. I'm sure you'll get there sooner or later. Ask Thias, the mayor, about Glaucia, that bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumours about a raid in the north. If Glaucia's ready to break the truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with them to get rid of her band. He looks at a nearby dragon bone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have a chance. A couple of days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you get back with the news. Fine? Yeah, that sounds good. I'm going there anyway, and now I'm gonna, help forge a bond between the necromancer settlement and this stronghold. That sounds great. Quirrell says, oh no, Views accidentally stumbled into the world of craft breweries. I just don't... what is happening right now? Rowan says this innkeeper is totally a closet furry. It must be it. Colin Belt says, no need to apologize, Vio. It was an amazing thought. Thank you. Let's not haggle. I'll just take the 2 coins. Great. What else do you need? Ooh. Leftovers. What do you have for sale? Anything I could buy? That's the same question. What? I'm looking for Asterion. Oh, yeah. The Peninsula. Glaucia's band. Rumors! Oh, I love asking for rumors in an RPG. Sabira says earhook. Food? Yeah, let's see if there's any leftovers. Let's keep our energy up. Our nourishment is only 1 of 4. I won't recover any health when I sleep. I could eat something. Do you have any leftovers? Yes, I feed them to our boar. I won't give them away for nothing. He tells you to wait, then leaves the building for a few minutes and returns with a wooden bucket and a long stick ending with a hook. Go through the gate and turn left. You'll see a bunch of bushes. We need some berries. Bring me a bucket full. You'll be done in half an hour or so. Your horse could use a nap anyway, and I'll prepare something to fill you. The hook is not made of metal or wood. It's a long, curved claw, almost black. Let's see. I reach for the tools. Half an hour? That's quite a lot for berry picking. It really isn't. I won't do that. Do I look like someone who forages for berries? Wait, I'm sorry, is foraging for berries beneath me? Of course I'll forage for berries. He's gonna give me food. For just some berries. This seems fine. Sam says that's rather boorish of him. Okay, yeah, let's go. Berry picking. The tools are cold, not too heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of the bucket. Ah, the berries are not a problem. The innkeeper smirks. Unlike the snakes. Better scare them away with a stick or move them with a hook. And protect your hands. The little ones won't eat you, but don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. Oh, you could have mentioned the snakes beforehand. But I'm not afraid of snakes, so I think we're okay. Rowan says Roadwarden does sound like someone who will forage for berries, to be honest. Exactly! That's one of my jobs. I'm a scholar and a berry picker. And a post person, I think. I'm gonna ask more questions before I go. Let's see. I'm looking for Asterion, the previous Roadwarden. Are you now? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him. I don't think I'm going to be of much help. He rests his elbow on the tabletop and grunts quietly to clear his throat. But I do want you to find him, so. When asked about his intentions, he measures his words. Asterion and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins. My half of the investment. He knocks on the table with a fist, anxiously. If you get my coin, or at least find out what happened to the guy, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed after bringing me the news. Everyone wants to give me money for finding Asterion. Could it be that Asterion stole the coins and ran away? He looks at a window and starts to play with a shutter. I just think Asterion ain't the kind of soul that would do such a thing. For him, it wasn't much of a fortune, and I'd risk saying he had earned my trust. Not only mine, you know. It's easy for a Roadwarden to make connections. Friends! He always had places to go, things to take care of. He rubs the table with his thumb as if trying to clean an invisible stain. I've asked travelers. I've sent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in White Marshes for a day, and was meant to do something for the people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So, let me know once you find anything, and we may yet return to this whole investment thing. I'll think about it. Okay, I'm gonna do a little save because my PC is unstable, so let's just not tempt fate. Quirrell says snakes aren't so bad if you treat them with respect. Yeah, if you're just, careful, it'll be fine. I assume that because he's saying don't get bitten, that these snakes are venomous, which is definitely significantly more concerning. But we'll just be careful. Alright. About Glaucia's band. Yeah, I'm interested in this. The bandits. He freezes, observing your hands silently. He wants me to get the answer from the mayor of Howler's Dell. Okay. Any rumors worth sharing? He crosses his arms. I don't like to talk about people who ain't nearby. Show me first that you're someone worth changing habit for. Okay. He doesn't trust me enough to share any gossip. Aww. I'm a Roadwarden. I need to know. I don't know why I'm so interested in this peninsula. I think that's the main quest. What can you tell me about the peninsula? What could anyone say? This place doesn't even have a name, unless there's an old book in an archive that no soul knows about. You know what I'd call everything from here to the coast? The hunting ground. He glances at your eyes. But it's not us who hunt, keep that in heart, but the beasts in all shapes and forms. His words gain confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. I've lived in this inn for over 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple of roads, a couple of places. It's just, once you get here and you see how harsh it is to hit the road, you have only more reasons to stay at the warm stove behind a wall, even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the window. I'm sure you've heard a lot already, that the people don't build hamlets anymore, that there are no more ibexes from the south, and the traders stay only for a few days. All of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. What will I find traveling west? Well, there are hills nearby, then you'll find a village, maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by beasts almost a decade ago, nothing to see there. The goblins live there now, so most people just travel around it. And they say it's haunted, but who knows, who cares? He crosses his arms and starts to sway back and forth, gathering his thoughts. You'll get to a large tree on the edge of the swamp. For the locals, it's sacred. You're not used to hearing someone mentioning pagans, as if there's nothing unusual about them. There's a small path south which leads to an old mine in the mountains, nothing to find there. But keep riding north and you'll find Howler's Dell, set at a clean brook. Farmers live there, and Mouflons and druids. They'll let you stay for a night, but they're not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been to Ape Ale Inn yet. He lets out a gentle smile. I smile politely. I only know a bit about the next settlement, Old Pagos. The soil there ain't too fertile, so they work in their quarry and help other settlements build things in exchange for crops. The forests and hills ain't too harsh, but the Seekers have a small monastery nearby in the mountains. I don't care much about them. They keep to themselves and they don't pay well. The third village is unknown to me. White marshes set at the bogs. I've heard it smells like a griffin's lair. I've heard a lot of nasty rumors about the place, but I won't share them. I don't want to be a lie spreader. If you'll say nasty, that people say nasty things about it, you're a little bit of a lie spreader, like, if you're not sure if it's true. I don't know. So, 3 villages, really. Howlers, the one near the monastery, whatever it's called, and marshes. Don't let their beds and palisades fool you, though. Weird people live there. Don't tell them more than you need to. You wonder if it's something he would tell other travelers as well. Ooh. Okay, let's go get some berries. I have fallen behind on chat, but it's lovely to see everyone here. Maliki, hello! Alright, let's keep going. That's all I need. I go outside. Woohoo! I enter the inn. Oh, sorry, you step outside. Shadowfax! I forgot our horse! Is fighting off flies with its tail. At this hour, the armorer's workshop is closed. I could go to the well. I could approach the guards. I should go outside and forage for berries. Yeah, I want to forage for berries. I think I need food. I need food! The innkeeper knew what he was talking about. You put on the gloves and look through the bushes from a safe distance. It doesn't take long before you notice the first serpent lying on a rock somewhere in the thicket. The creatures are not that large, and even if some of them hiss at you or slither closer, the jabs of the hook keep them at a distance. You don't know much about these berries. They are round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such a colour even if you were looking for food in the wilderness. The plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh, so you make sure to thoroughly cover your skin with your clothes. You have to look through many bushes to fill in the bucket. But the presence of insects and snakes does not allow you to relax. I can gather the berries, or I can use my knowledge because I am so knowledgeable. I'm going to use my knowledge. I notice a shrub that's not like the others. Ooh, I'm so glad we chose Scholar. This has been great. Woohoo! Okay. Marsh bules. Interesting. One of the bushes in the back has more berries than the others. They're purple, and as you squeeze one of them, you recognize that these are marsh bules. In small amounts, they are added to pies, sauces, and beverages, known for their delicate sourness and sweetness, unique, but not intrusive. Still, eating a cup of them will make one sick, if not poisoned. You're surprised to see them in a meadow, far away from a wetland. Ooh, I bet that's going to be useful. You could use them at an alchemy table if you can find it. For now, you put a fistful into one of your jars. The others are still a bit greenish. Hoo-hoo-hoo! Yes! Sam says, stand back, I'm going to do science! Teferac says, talk to Shadowfax. A penumbra is the partially shaded outer region of the shadow cast by an opaque object. Pets Shadowfax. Say, good Horbs. I think this is canon. Teferax is Shadowfax constantly giving us facts about shadows. It's canon. This is what our horse is like. You've returned to the courtyard. 2 of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. Their wrestling is accompanied by a crowd. I enter the inn. I put his fruits on the counter. Shadowfax throws shade. Oh my gosh. Great. He peeks inside the bucket. I've got cabbage stew with a few goose chunks for you. I'd serve it even to merchants if there were any around. The meal is warm and filling. It's well seasoned and not overcooked. And like I've said, I rarely have food to spare, but feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You may be lucky, and I've been cooking my whole life. Thanks! Ugh, snort, sorry. Ugh, stuffy nose. And how did that old hook of mine work out for you? I see you still have your hands. How much money do I have? Where's my money? Snake hook does seem useful. I need to find my bones? Dragon bones? Shadow facts. Writing instruments, weapons. I don't know how much money I have. Is there like a money meter? My face is dirty. I have an appearance 1 of 5. Aw. I'd like to buy it from you. He narrows his eyes. Can't you make one for yourself? You know what? That's a great point. Wait, it's the claw that grabs my interest, honestly. Is this a dragon stick? If it's a dragon stick, then I need it. It's the claw that grabs my interest, honestly. Let's try that. Ah, I see. It's a nice one, ain't it? My guards once had to get rid of a pebbler. You can't really eat them, but their claws and bones are durable enough, so we put them to good use. For a moment, he observes your face. A single coin will be fair. Yeah, okay, 1 coin of my I don't know how many coins I have. My name is Strider. I used to be a scholar. Oh, I pay him. -1 coin, but how many coins do I have? Oh, 9. I had 10. Now I have 9. Okay, I did mouse over it and just never noticed. All right. What do you have for sale? I can go and pick up a few things for you. Some food for your travels to start with. Apples, nuts, sausage. Not too many at once. We need to maintain our supplies. I've got an elk fur I don't need. Its buyer was caught up by a pack of red wolves. Nice for a sleeping spot, just as nice for a wall. An almost untouched pot of soap. Priceless for a traveller. Oh, I am really dirty, apparently. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic. Made of fine oak ash. Strong, though you should have some better supplies before you start your own bathhouse. After you mention you'd like something more useful on these roads, he looks down. I don't have any blades or armor to spare, but if you pay well, you can take one of our crossbows and a bunch of quarrels. A yew bow, wool cords, and the trigger needs just a little bit of oil. It's as good as you can get without soaking it in magic. Takes a bit of muscle to draw, but even a 16-year-old could handle it. I won't sell it cheap, but I'm ready to give a discount to a helpful ally. Alright, let's have a look. Ooh! Crossbow. 30! Ooh. Silvers. I don't even have silvers. No, I can't afford that. Soap! 3 filling meals? That seems very useful, because I gave away some of my rations. I'm going to buy a food. I got 3 food rations for 1 gold. That seems good. I'm going to buy a box of soap. And I'm good. Yeah. Alright, I think it's time to go. I'm gonna go outside. Oh, the armor is here. Do I need armor? I'll just run away. If something attacks me, I'll just run, right? I'm loving the horse chat, by the way. Sam says, yes, hello there, dear proprietor. I would like 1 food, please. Exactly. But we got 3 food, so I think we really got the better end of the deal there. Let's go to the armorer since they weren't there before. Seems relevant. You walk past the well and find a small open shed, not unlike the stable, with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening tools, pincers, knives, and other tools. It's a long list. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place will find a way to do so. There are 2 people sitting on a long bench. The first one is a male with maybe inch-long hair, a cleanly shaven face, a thin, long yellow tunic, bare legs and sandals. He ignores your presence, sewing a gambeson with great concentration. The second person is a boy, maybe 15, who's wearing the crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening a long dagger. Greetings! I'm not gonna wait for him to notice me. That seems... just say hi! I've been in the waiting for someone to notice you camp in the past, and it never works out. It's always more awkward than saying hi, even if, like me, you cannot say hi in a way that doesn't come across awkwardly. The man raises his head, but it's the boy who speaks, focused on his task. He ain't talking. Tell me what it is that you need. The man smiles in confirmation, looks at the piece of garment in his hands, then looks around, shrugs, and returns to you with a raised eyebrow. I look at the youngster, learning the trade, I see. Kind of, he answers reluctantly, but his teacher pats his knee, giving him a harsh look. The kid clears his throat. Yes, but we both ain't masters, you see. There's not a soul to teach us, so once I'm ready, I'll try hunting instead. Fixing things for others is boring. The man grunts a sound, though you don't understand it. Seeing your face, the boy chuckles. He said safe. Let's meet in the middle. Boring, but safe. The man nods. Could you patch my clothes if they were torn? Are my clothes torn? He shakes his head and points at the uneven seams on his own tunic, then grabs a crude bone needle and shows you its broken head. He wouldn't even if he had the tools, says the boy. You can try and howl as Dell or Gale rocks. Okay, well, I don't know why I came here. I leave the shed. Let's go to the well. I haven't been to the well yet. Yes. Quarrel says, I like that the building is whitewashed. That's an aspect of medieval European architecture that fantasy settings often miss. Let's see. The recently renovated wooden roof covers the well from rain and birds. One of the guards is enjoying the cold drink he drew with a bucket and tells you to use only as much water as is necessary. The oak ash soap you own can help you get cleaner. I could be clean! It's time to wash my filthy shell! I know that just means body, but I am kind of imagining that we're all turtles. I wash my cell. Everyone's secretly a furry! Jabal! Jabal says, well, 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 what have we here? Surely that's my line. Splashing yourself with cold water from a bucket won't take away your smell, but it's enough to remove the tallow and sweat from your skin and mud stains from your clothes. I have soap! I won't get any cleaner here. My clothes need no washing. I step away. Fine. Jabal, how are you doing? Teferax is one more thing off our bucket list. Okay. How do I leave? I want to leave. Travel. Oh yeah, I just do this, I guess. Do I need to sleep? 3 or 4. I feel well. I feel nourished. My appearance is 2 out of 5. I'm getting there. Okay. Oh wait, maybe I should sleep at the inn. I don't think I have time limits, so I think I can just do that. Wait, but I shouldn't... Can I have a bath? I already asked for... I don't think I can ask for a bath. Alright. Let's go. Nighttime shelter, daytime rest. Meals or supplies, trader, safe water source. Daytime rest. There is daytime rest here. Alright, well, let's just... I'll go to the inn. I'll ask about the inn. I didn't expect to find an inn of this size in a place such as this. Oh, you're gonna tell me loads of stuff, but I really just want a bath. Ah, so you know a thing or two after all. His mocking tone is soon replaced by a gentle smile. It was built long before we arrived. It didn't work out well for the previous owners. Once the war ended, they left. Not enough travelers, bad trade, the villagers stick to themselves. We, however, came prepared, and now we're prospering. When you ask him how they can afford all the supplies, he runs his fingers through his dark hair. I'm not against running an inn, but we don't rely on guests. We're the ones doing all the trading. My hunters are a clever bunch and stay in the forest. In exchange for fur, claws, and bones, we get what we need and more, both from the south and the north. He moves to the window and peeks outside. We have a good life here. We spent a whole lot on armor, crossbows, lumber, spears. But another 10, maybe 20 years we'll have enough savings to move to Hovlaven and not work for another day of our lives. We take risks, but smartly. The team is stronger than ever, and I have big plans for us. It's surprising to find a purple-skinned man so far in the north. That seems like a horrendous thing to say to someone. I'm not going to ask that. Let me bathe? How? Okay, I'm going to return to my questions. How do I wait? Wait? Daytime rest? Wait? That's not very useful. What time is it right now? How do you know what time it is? Is this the time? Oh, it's 12 hours and 0 minutes before dusk. Well, let's just travel then. Okay, I don't know why I bothered with that. I can't bathe here! Jabal says, oh my god, but you can't just ask someone why that purple Mean Girls reference. Jabal says, I am managing ish, curling up at home today, still varying between just about functional and not enough spoons day by day, I guess. I'm sorry. It's a nasty illness. I hope you can, you know, tip more towards just about functional soon. Coral says 12 hours to dusk is not as late as the sundial made it look. It really isn't. The southern crossroads. I don't want to go that way. I'm going northwest or something? The road uphill meanders, slowing you down and forcing you to pay close attention, not only to the shadows of the trees, but also to the tight, rocky passages. You can't help but notice a few caves and fine ambush spots. I keep an eye out for any sign of life. Ooh! Ooh! Oh, I feel so bad for everyone recovering from COVID right now. I'm so sorry. Ooh! Ooh! A change. The ruined village. Ooh! Okay. Standing in front of the gate, you hear no voices, no tools at work, no steps. Dozens of birds live among the collapsed roofs. Their fluttering, singing, and squawking is free of worries. If you want to travel any further, you need to ride around the palisade. Searching the ruins may take a lot of time. The broken gate in the north will lead you to the village. The sound of a gentle river reaches you from the east, where you see a saggy fence surrounding an overgrown pasture. Behind the burnt building in the east, you see an oddly barren field. This ruined village is full of goblins, right? And I do want to befriend goblins, but I feel like it probably makes sense not to just wander in. Ride around the palisade. Approach the... How do I choose to ride around the palisade, though? Approach the building near the field. I'd like to... Let's look at the gate. Let's look at the gate. I take a closer look at the gate. The palisade is in good shape and the entrance wasn't even touched by the fire. It was torn away, possibly thrown. The amount of force used must have been huge, but you'd expect that it would push the gate into the village, not away from it. You don't see the marks of a dragon bite. A troll could toss such planks, but after so many years, you see no paw prints. A mage? You can't really tell. I guess I'll have a look at the building near the field. Sam says, as a goblin myself, it's fine as long as you bring something shiny. Goblins are wonderful, but I feel like this game is going to be like, you walk into goblin territory, they attack you. But I am having a look, so. The broken logs and planks are charred, while the wooden walls are rotten and covered in moss. You see no ashes or dust, proving that the fire happened long ago. The smell is awful, and there are no reasons to stay for long. You see no furniture, just some broken shelves. It was just a storage room. The valuable odds and ends were already taken by scavengers. I move forward. Where do you want to go? I want to go to the necromancer village. I'm not that interested in this ruined village. Explore the southwest. Inspect the fields in the southwest, or inspect the pasture in the southeast. Animals are kept in pastures, so I'm going to have a look in the pasture. You don't find a single sign of the livestock that lived here in the past. Any bones, horns, antlers, or dung have already been devoured by the wilderness. The pasture ends at the river. On the opposite bank, the meadow turns into a thick forest, impenetrable for a rider. What are the chances that a herd of defenseless animals could get there and survive? The breach in the southern fence wasn't made by some brute force. You find axe cuts in the spots that were ultimately broken away. After all these years, there are no tracks that you could follow. I return to the main road. I have to look at everything. It won't let me not look at everything. I guess I'll inspect the fields. You're surrounded by what looks like a field ploughed in late autumn, disturbed by hundreds of rains and snowfalls. There's a few clumps of grass and wheat, but a place like this one, abandoned for years, should already have turned itself into a green lea. A barren field? Maybe it was overused, but you would still expect the weeds to sprout. A curse? The path leading west from here ends at the edge of the field, shifting into a meadow, then a forest. In the north, you see a path leading around the palisade. I don't have a way to investigate? Okay. You feel a slight aching in your stomach. Where do you want to go? Oh, no, I'm nourished! Let's inspect the palisade. I want to go around. The tracks of human footwear and many, many more ape footprints. Interesting. Cover the path formed around the palisade's breach. As far as you can tell, the freshest footprints lead to the village. The wooden stakes spread on the ground are rotten, covered in mushrooms, small flowers, insects, and worms. A good source of animal or goblin food, though you'd expect them to also hunt for the birds and eggs. The meadow in the west turns into a forest quickly. The grasses in the north surround dozens of tree stumps, already covered with moss and fungi. Going south, you'll reach a large field, although you don't see any crops. Fungi? Bleh. I shouldn't enter the forest, especially not in this area. It's unpredictable. Where do I want to go? How? Oh, I have to travel to leave! I'm not like forced to go through this. I'm not gonna go to the main school. I wanna go. What? I can't go this way? I thought I went to the Pelt of the North and then I went somewhere else. That's just gonna take me back. How do I? It said I have to explore around. I don't. It told me I could ride around this place, and then it's not giving me the option. I don't know how to get around. Jabal says I think you do have to get to the North Gate to leave. All right, let's get to the North Gate then. Let's do it. Calmly Enveloped says fungi and fungi are both valid, though I personally say fungi. Fungi does sound more fun. Let's see. I say both. So I've got to go in. I explore the northwest part of the village. There we go. North. That's going to get us to the North Gate. The colourful grass covers the entire fenced pasture. The large stone placed in the middle suggests it could be a playground for ibexes. Or maybe it's just an old garden. You see a couple of small sheds, a latrine, and a single building to the south, completely burned down. All of these places were cleaned out by scavengers. Shadowfax doesn't want to approach the large ruins in the north. The terrible stench of feces and rotting wood scares you off as well. Ugh. The paths are covered with goblin footprints. It's daytime, so the pack should be asleep. If the beasts were active, they would try to scare you off or to hunt down your mount. This is their territory, and once they wake up, you will face a furious enemy. Okay, I go somewhere else quietly. I go and look at the northern gate. The paths here are almost reclaimed by grasses. To your east and west, you see shadowy alleys behind damaged buildings, while the path south leads to the main square. I take a closer look at the gate. I just want to move on. Pushed or pulled, it doesn't move an inch. Someone has spread dirt and rocks both underneath it and around it, seemingly to keep the planks stuck in the ground. I approach the nearby tree. You don't find anything worth picking. The half-dead quinces have maggots crawling under their skins. Ugh. You wonder which parts of this meal is more tempting for the dark-winged birds sitting among the branches, the flesh of the fruits or of the worms. Quinces are rarely eaten without having a chance to blet. What? A chance to blet? You can safely guess that they were meant to be dried, or to add taste to cookies or hard drinks. After a few moments, you realize that the bottom part of the tree, just above the ground, is partially charred. Someone must have opposed a torch here, but the wet wood didn't burst into flames. Interesting. Ooh, look at this! Look at this pigeon! Look at this pigeon emote. I love it. Jabal says, I think in this setting that it's best to think of goblins as like very aggressive murder chimps. They're not per se evil, but they're also willing and able to mess up your whole day and are pretty difficult to negotiate with beyond trying to scare them off. Okay. Quirrell says, bletting fruit is letting it over-ripen slightly so it goes soft. Ooh, thank you. I've never encountered that word. Ooh. Okay. I want to open the gate. Maybe? Let me leave. You should take a look at the other side to be sure it's even possible, especially since it may take a couple of hours without proper tools. Okay, well, I go somewhere else. I go to the northeast. The debris was partially moved outside of the destroyed houses, but you find nothing of value. The table, cupboards, shelves, and bits and pieces were carefully ransacked. The wildly growing vegetables and herbs are the only remnants of the abandoned gardens. You spot fresh human footprints at the entrance to the latrine, most of which lead to and from the center of the village. You notice a set of simple tools leaned against a pile of rubble. A wooden spade and a shovel, a pointed stick, a hoe with a bone head, a stone axe. All of them are too old and too awkward to bother with transporting them around, but you'll know where to find them if you need them in the future. Okay. The closer you are to the village and the longer you stay around, the sicker you feel. The taste of gastric juices hits your mouth. Your forehead hurts. You start to stumble. Shadowfax, worried by the sight, pokes your head with its nose. This place is hacking cursed! What the heck? I walk away from the walls. Leaning on your mount, you go outside, keeping your mouth shut. After a few minutes, your eyes get clearer. It may be better to leave, or at least to stay away from the village for the rest of the day. Yes. Can I leave? I can't leave. I inspect the clearing in the west. The meadow is lush and colourful and so dense it's unsafe for a rider. For a couple of minutes you lead Shadowfax with a rope, avoiding the potential disaster in case of a hoof falling into an animal den. Being forced to travel around the palisade every time you get here is going to be a pain. It would be less of a pain if I could just leave. Most of the tree trunks look similar and have a comparable size. They were most likely planted with the sole purpose of being cut down and used by the locals. Though cutting so many trees at once, that alone could provoke the wrath of the herds. Such a process should be spread across a couple of seasons, and you can't be sure that was the case. In the west and north, the clearing turns into a wild forest. In the east, you see a road leading north. I want the road! Okay, I go to the road leading north. We've done it! We've done it! Rowan says, I like that this village you didn't want to hang out at ever is also poisoning you, but you still don't have the option of going away. I'm just missing something. I'm like, how do I leave? Sam says, necromancers, here we come. Oh, yeah, I'm rubbing my hands together. Bouncing. Okay. You're at the closed northern gate. The neglected road is partially overgrown. You hear a river in the east, separated by the lush meadow, filled with crickets and rodents. I feel like every step into the village weakens me. I don't want to be in the village. I want to go somewhere else. You stop and touch your aching stomach. Can I leave yet? I have the road. I have the road. We're getting out of here. Okay. Oh, we're going to find the necromancer soon. I can feel it. I hope I'm going the right way. You enter the wetlands with their many streams, ponds, and fish. Large birds run and fly between the grey, sparse trees that are covered with moss, mushrooms, and critters. For a human, it may be an unwelcoming and harsh realm, but the overwhelming swarms of insects prove that it's a realm full of life. The danger, with teeth and claws, is hidden below the water's surface. I stay away from the banks. Ooh. Jabal says you are going the right way for the necromancers, but you have one other big settlement on the way there. Dang. Alright, I hope we get there this stream. What was that? Oh. I stay away from the banks. Ooh. Look at this tree. Look at this stone structure. These roots like tentacles. I love it. This plant shouldn't be alive, not without leaves. It doesn't resemble the other trees of the wetlands. It's something else. You get off your horse and prepare your axe. The water is filled with dirt and dead plants, and it smells like an old corpse. Ooh. The roots are spreading far, breaking through the water's surface. You don't see any saurians in the grasses or on the shore. You approach the table-like altar made of 3 limestone slabs. Were these rocks originally as formless as they are now? Or was there a point in time, centuries ago, when they were precisely shaped and decorated by masters of artistry? There's no way to tell. Shadowfax is peacefully observing the dark grass and slapping flies with its tail. Whatever it is that you feel in the air, it's clear that your companion sees this place through very different eyes. I smile and scratch the bottom of its neck. Go ahead, I'll look around for just a moment. Oh, there must be a strong spirit hidden in this tree. Maybe I should bring it a gift. Yeah! I'm gonna give the tree a gift! Tree friend! It's happening! We're making friends! Oh, thank you for modding Calmly Enveloped. Much appreciated. Okay. You've never seen a soul carrier like this one. Soul carrier! But you find a comforting glory in its haunting form. You see it as part of the natural order, an incarnation of death. For many city folk, the only acceptable wilderness includes wild game, flowers, and birch sap. But you know the value of balance, the cycle of all things. When I chose pagan, I had no idea that it was just going to make me a necromancer, or at least like a necromancer sympathizer. This is so good. You wonder what sort of offerings people bring here. You doubt that an altar like this one could play only a ceremonial function. Animals, maybe? I do want to approach the altar, but I should look in the water first. I'm a bit worried. You step cautiously. Without knowing how deep it gets, you have to consider that a saurian could be camouflaged in the mud, waiting for a victim to get near. Since you don't plan to kneel down and drink, you're hoping to dodge a potential strike. Once you get closer, you start breathing again. While the water is dirty, it's also shallow. You see the vegetation, swimming insects, and even small fish. All of them stay away from the tree roots, which looks like a spider web covering the bottom of the pond. Aside from that, you don't see anything that would catch your attention. Can I look at the roots? You kneel in front of something that's lying on the shore. It's brown and covered with hair that resembles that on your arm. When you touch it, it's moist, soft, and warmer than you'd expect. The roots are hairy! Ooh, no. Sabira says pagan was obviously the right choice. Yes, agreed. Ooh, okay. Can I do something with it? What do you try to do? Example, kick? Pet. Pet. Either you can't do that or I don't understand you. I do something else. Please! Stroke. Oh, come on! I do something. Kiss. Question mark! Like I said, I'm kissing it. The root is soft and doesn't resist your touch. Its smell is not far off from the stench of the water from which it sticks out. You feel its warmth. Or maybe it's just a trick of your imagination. After a couple of moments, your lips start to itch. Look, you wouldn't let me pet it. I needed a friendly action. Oh, I stand up. I approach the altar. Thank you for letting me enter things. Rowan says you got poison ivy in your mouth. It's perfect. Look. I have no regrets. There's clumped dirt in the uneven nicks fused by years of winds and rains. The bottom surface of the table is dusty, but you don't find any spiderwebs or mold, even though it's a perfect spot for them. The tree roots cling to the altar in many spots. They're firmly attached. You struggle to move them even by an inch. The cream-coloured limestone is cold and smooth. I'm making an offering! What's your sacrifice? Ooh, what have I got that's good? I should give it something death-related. No, not Shadowfax. A rope. My gambeson. Berry picking hook. I probably shouldn't give the healing potion. Do I give it food? Can I give it a coin? Coin. Dragon bone for the death tree? Game, what do you want? What do you do? Me, free it from the tyranny of capitalism. Game, I don't understand. Me, did I stutter? Yes, exactly. I'm gonna give it a coin. You put both your pouch and the coins on the altar, but nothing happens. Alright, I try something else. I make an offering. Okay, I sacrifice food. You place any type of food you can find in your sacks or on the nearby plants, but none of them seem to make any difference. I'm going to befriend this. Do I still have all my stuff? Yeah, it's just not accepting it. I make an offering. Okay, let's try the healing potion. That's got to be quite valuable, right? You need to be more... Potion. How do I be more specific? It's right here. Okay. A fresh healing potion. You put the bottle on the altar and after a couple of breaths it starts to shake. Maybe you should pour out its contents. Woohoo! We're cooking now! Alright. I spill the liquid on the altar. The potion covers the altar. Hear these crow cawing. This is the perfect place. Filling the air with the sweet smell of fruits and honey. The liquid sinks into the table before it gets to the edges. The tree greets your offering with the sound of moving, stretching branches. Wow! We gave it a kiss and a healing potion, and it's our friend now! This is so good. Can I do something else? I don't have a magical item. The cream-coloured limestone is cold and smooth. The tree is moving slowly, and some of the branches are now visibly longer. Oh, I gotta keep giving it stuff! Wow! I offer a magical item. Do I have one? I don't have anything. I walk away. Alright, I think it's time to move on. Goodbye, creepy tree! We love you! I think north will take us to, Will north take us to the Necromancer village? Jubal, do you have the knowledge? Did we go north to get to Necromancer or south? Oh, Melon, hi. Melon's on my desk. I can't see chat very well, but he's watching the game. Good boy, Melon. Hey. Jabal says north. We're going north. He loves text appearing on screens, which I think is just... It's just because I'm a writer and he's very used to it. You slow down. Among the shrubs, a small pack of dragonlings is feasting on the carcass of a grey auroch. Ooh, that's like a ancient giant cow. One of them, with red feathers on its arms, straightens up and gives you a curious glance. Its head tilts left and right, forward and back. It screeches at you, but doesn't move forward, and returns to its meal. Feathery dragonlings! Oh! Maliki says it sounded like you said melon. No, I just have an accent. Okay. You wonder what would happen if you were on foot. Would they let you be, satisfied with their prey? Or would they run after you? But if so, for what reason? For now you have enough space to move forward, yet stay safe. The powerful jaws break the monster's bones loudly, then bite off and swallow chunks of meat. I ride forward, but I keep my distance and look over my shoulder. This is so good. The beaten road serves your palfrey well. The forest to your left becomes sparse and brighter, and there are dozens of human-made paths among the fruit-bearing trees. On your right, there's a large pasture, with at least a dozen massive mouflons. What is a mouflon? Is it like a big sheep? It sounds sheepy to me. It sounds French. 2 of them already sheared. It is a sheep! Looks comically small. Soon after that, you ride along vast, flourishing fields filled with rye, still green, preparing itself patiently for the second harvest. The path ends with a massive wooden gate. The stone wall separating you from the glow of lights behind it isn't as tall as the roofs, but you can't imagine climbing to its top. There are pretty... Merlin, don't do that. Nope. Good boy. Sorry. The stone wall separating you from the glow of lights behind it isn't as tall as the roofs, but you can't imagine climbing to its top. There are pretty much no cracks, no missing bricks, a sign of many hours of labour, especially considering how massive the settlement is, as wide as a city district. The birds and monkeys are now just a distant echo, replaced with the sounds of carts, running, hammers, saws, laughter, and shouts. Ooh! Cool! Jabal says mouflon are indeed sheep. Quarrel says mouflons are big sheep like goats. They're thought to be the wild ancestors of domestic sheep. Oh, like the auroch! For cows. Cool, yes. Mouflon is to sheep as buffalo is to cow. Brilliant. Jabal says, thought cryptic advice that may be worth taking into account. I think one thing with this game I sometimes struggled with is that it very much has its own setting. It's not always intuitive which bits are weird but friends, and which bits are unexpected but okay, and which bits are nope, actually genuinely awful news. Yeah, I'm getting that sense. Like, I don't really know. I don't feel oriented in how I'm supposed to react to things. So I'm just going with my gut, which is befriend everything. I don't feel comfortable in large settlements. Let's get this over with. I feel comfortable. This world is full of, like, monsters that, like, destroy small settlements. I feel glad I can rest here. Yeah. A young man is leaning against the closed gate, covered by its shadow. He's young, tanned, and has a short, elegantly trimmed red beard. Beneath the green gambeson, he wears an expensive tunic decorated with colourful trim. From his arm hangs a steel helmet, though the metal is so thin that it's mostly made of wool and leather. He moves into the light and takes on the posture of a disciplined soldier, not a mercenary. He's standing upright with his chin up. There are 2 weapons on the ground, leaning on the wooden beams of the gate, an axe made of steel and a wooden club. He doesn't reach for either. You dismount smoothly, still having some vigour left. Shadowfax holds its tail high. A narrow path leads north, toward 2 field workers, one with a hoe and one with a pitchfork. They wave to you. You can't see their faces, but their clothes are simple. Grey pants and vests made from hemp and wool. Ooh, this is good. Quirrell says nothing wrong with taking the befriend everything approach. At the end of the day, it's just a day, and the only thing that happens if you die is you get to try again with better knowledge. True. Okay. Yeah, let's wave back. They're waving at me. Friendly. They talk for a bit, looking toward you and pointing at your mount, then walk away, disappearing behind the wall's corner. The guard smiles, yet avoids your eyes, and has to clear his throat before he speaks. Oh, look. I'm not upset that you're avoiding my eyes. Welcome, traveller. If you're near here to make trouble, Howler's Dell welcomes you. We have the whitest flower there is. Okay. When he bows, you realize it's a well-practiced performance. If it's new garments you're looking for, you can order everything you need right here in all colours, shapes and sizes. Capes, boots, vests, robes. Or if you're yourself a master of the needle, I can assure you we have the fabric you're looking for. His act is over and he glances at your mount in a moment of silence. His eyes get wider as he observes it with childlike fascination. Okay, so we can say, this is Shadowfax. It helps me patrol the roads. You can pet its side if you want, but no sudden movements. I'm Strider, your new Roadwarden. I want to see your mare. No, pet Shadowfax! I want everyone in this world fears animals and doesn't have a lot of experience with them. We're gonna change that. Shadowfax is now the ambassador for animals. And everyone is going to love Shadowfax and realize that horses are wonderful and animals are friends. Oh, yeah. He follows your instructions. Even though your palfrey pays no attention to the man's careful touch, the guard grins widely. See? I'm Strider, your new Roadwarden, and I want to see your mare. We're doing it! This is how we make friends. Quirrell says, I kind of treat RPGs like Groundhog Day. I keep lots of saves, redo things until I learn the outcomes, and create the perfect future for everyone. That's very much what I do when I'm playing RPGs on my own as well. Which does remind me, let's save. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't have multiple saves in this one. A city folk, aye? The mayor is busy, but I'll ask her. Give us a moment to let you in. He knocks at the gate, which is then pulled inwards by two other guards, a man and a woman wearing their own gambesons. Similarly green, but tailor-made to match their figures. So this is a very, prosperous settlement, clearly. The nearby buildings are simple houses made of wooden beams and covered with thatch, while their storehouse is even more modest, with a roof made of planks. The watchtower has a ladder made of ropes and sticks, no stairs. Give me a moment! The guard strides away before he finishes the last word. The others close the gate behind you and observe your mount carefully. Your eyes run east, to a humming creek running through the center of the village. I wait for the return of the messenger. Jabal says I can always provide in-world advice if it's ever helpful, but I'm trying very hard to avoid giving that unsolicited in case it gets in the way. No, you've been really helpful. I really appreciate it. I think you've struck a really good line of not spoiling things and helping me when I'm confused or stuck. It's been wonderful. Thank you. Jabal, you're making it sound like it's gonna be really bad, but everything's going great so far. I think a happy ending is on the way, and the abolishment of the Dragonbone trade, and the befriending the monsters. I am playing on easy mode, so... Calming sound, aye? That's Howler's Creek. The guard, like most of the locals, is taller than you. Wide, but shallow. There's never been a flood in years. Pa told me there used to be nae bridges. Neighbours crossed it with their boots in their hands. And 'tis clean like a raindrop, but there are nae many fishes. We're the cleanest village in the north, her companion chuckles brightly. When the guard returns, he's still alone. She can nae come now. A friend of mine is in labour, aye? The mayor wants to be there when the child arrives, but I was asked to show you the village. I nod. Fine. He approaches the watchtower. Tie your mount here, we'll keep the kids away. Most of the neighbours are getting ready to celebrate. Once you're done, he grabs the rope ladder. The view from up there is gorgeous. I think Joe's watching funny videos. I keep hearing chuckling in the distance. I climb up after him, or I nod and think of my knife. If it's a trap, I'll get him first. I'm not thinking about killing this man. I climb after him. Even though the ladder swings in all directions, the guard gets to the top quickly, like a monkey climbing up creepers. You, on the other hand, need to stop and wait for the ladder to calm itself. When you join the man on the wooden platform, you're a bit dizzy. He's leaning on the wooden parapet, observing the area with a smile. I look around. See, there's near a place like Dowler's Dell. The guard points in every direction, giving you no time to contemplate. For the next few minutes, he describes the fields and their crops, the flocks in the pastures and the shepherds inspecting the fences, the ancient garden of trees and bushes larger than the village itself, the sunlight dancing on the stream to its own tune. If you are to believe everything he describes, this place has access to everything in abundance. The sweetest honey, the most fragrant bread, the softest wool, and the beer, 'tis excellent. He sounds like a city merchant who's trying to sell an old house. Quite far from dusk. Is this place this idyllic, or is something else going on? Because it sounds like this peninsula is like hellish to settle. So how are they thriving so well if they don't have necromancers? That's my question. Rowan says the game options are moving from, hey, do you want to be paranoid, to do you want to be a serial killer? That's how I feel! Chabal says no time limit will massively help. A lot of my screw-ups were things I got timed out on, or things where I had to rush one thing or spent way too long before I worked out exactly what I meant to do. Yeah, I thought that would be both good for streaming and good for me as a person. I've played games where you have a limited amount of time to do things, and it hurts my heart when you just time out. What an annoying kid. Near Hovlaven you could find 5 larger and richer settlements in less than 2 days. No! No wonder he's so proud. Why shouldn't he be? They've tamed this scrap of land and live in comfort. Yeah, this is a nice place. The islet in the middle connects both parts of the village. According to the man, the northern gate is hardly ever opened, as it leads nowhere now. Near the eastern gate, there's the Ape Ale Inn, where you can find a bed and victuals. And there's the store where Akakios rewards our work, unless we annoy him with pointless talk. He lets out a chuckle. On the opposite side of the creek, there's another white house. It belongs to Bion, the best clothier in the north. The priests live in the southeast, near the wall, but they do not talk to strangers. You also hear about the hunter, the cooper, the fisher, the miller. The pie maker lives with his sister, the baker. The smith and her husband, the carpenter, live with their kids. Some of the larger buildings could accommodate 2, maybe even 3 generations at once. There could be more than 100 dwellers here. You consider stopping his speech, but he suddenly points at the islet again. There, see? The mayor's coming. The one wearing purple. You're free to join her, traveller. This place seems so nice. Sam says, how do they survive here if they don't have necromancers? I think that is what the Zen masters would call a question wrongly asked. Coral says easy mode tends to be the most accommodating to my Groundhog Day playstyle. Yeah. Same. I think this is going well. You try to get down quickly, but 2 steps are enough to make you sure that it's a bad idea. You wait for the ladder to find its balance. You're relieved when you touch the ground again. You untie your palfrey and follow the guard. You pass a small pasturage surrounded by a wooden fence, a few loose chickens and a tethered boar. The fancier buildings are covered with whitewash coating and surrounded with vegetables, herbs and flowers. The bridges are wide enough to carry even a wagon, but for Shadowfax, walking on the wooden beams is far from pleasant. The islet is empty, but you notice an empty stall painted with the shapes of colourful flowers. I walk over the second bridge. Hi, Mullen. No grabbing. Okay? Not right now. But you're a good boy and you get many pets. Along the entire path, you notice more and more people observing you, smiling, or casually greeting you as they're focused on their own tasks. Finally, you reach the main square. A large tree grows in the center, surrounded by dark water, held together by a thin wall, perfect for sitting. But the smell coming from the liquid makes you think of rotten eggs. The plant reminds you of the tree you saw in the south, next to the swamp altar. They have a special tree too! That's how they're doing so well. In the north, you see the Ape Ale Inn. Judging by the tables, stools, and benches outside of it, it's open for guests. The villagers are chatting and dining loudly, and you catch their curious glances. On the side of the dining area, the merchant is arguing with a tall, broad-shouldered worker. An old man is sitting by himself, eating a pie with a walking stick leaning against the table. A young woman is cleaning up the empty mugs in the creek, speaking with a man at least twice her age, maybe her father. I need a spot to tether Shadowfax. Ooh. Quirrell says this village really is day and night compared to the everything sucks in an army camp. And this is why you always kiss the swamp tree. There's a wide wooden roof next to the gate that shelters carts, crates, and sacks. You move your mount next to a donkey, to a beam placed here just for this purpose. Without a moment of hesitation, Shadowfax starts to chew on the nearby haystack. You have some time to make sure it doesn't struggle with your bundles. You return to the inn. I look for the mayor and approach her. She's sitting on a chair with a 4-year-old boy on her knees. She's holding his hand gently, showing him how to eat gruel from a bowl. It's not a cheap meal, though. You spot nuts, berries, and milk, and the added honey makes it yellowish. The kid is clean and quiet, and once he notices your arrival, he crams his mouth with a spoonful of oats. Now, love, the mayor titters. Do not get distracted. She rubs the meal off his face. A few more spoons, and you'll go help Papa in the kitchen, huh? She gives you a radiant, though apologetic smile, then turns her attention back to her companion. I observe her more closely. Rowan says you've kissed the swamp tree -10 to Grimdark. Her long, full-sleeved linen dress must have been dyed once in blue and once in red to achieve its dark, fancy purple, which would draw looks even in Hovlaven. From her left shoulder hangs a green woolen cape, as thin as a shawl. The brown belt on her waist has a large steel buckle that portrays a running deer with unrealistically large antlers, growing in all directions like tree branches. Unlike her tribesfolk, she's pale, with powdered and rouged cheeks, and her lips match her outfit, though they're a bit closer to wine red. The thick, grey strands in her long blonde hair look more like a fashion choice than a result of aging. Her eyes are the colour of her cape, keen and vigorous. She's shorter than most people around, though would still be the tallest woman in most of the northern settlements. While she's around 40, her slim hands add fragility to her appearance, even though her posture is upright, her legs confidently crossed, and her delicate voice assertive. She makes plenty of gestures, but her shoulders hardly ever move. This game is so wildly descriptive. Which this is why it's taking me so long to make progress, because I'm reading aloud. I wait for as long as it takes. Let's just be polite. After a few more minutes, the boy lets out a gentle cough, and after a pat on the back, the mayor puts him on the ground. You did a great job, love. But now I need to speak with our guest. Darling? She addresses one of the inn workers, a girl close to 15. Take him to father, will you? Her tone suddenly gets firmer, leaving no hint of a question or suggestion. Yes, ma, she responds. Both her hair and her eyes are nothing like those of her brother, and neither of the kids resemble their mother. I mean, that's not so weird. So we have a Roadwarden again. Please, sit down. She vaguely shows you the palm of her open hand, letting you pick any place you want. I'm not sure why that's all italicized. Am I supposed to be really suspicious that she doesn't look like her family? Since I'm her guest, I sit on a bench next to her, or I sit on the stool opposite her. I'm here as a trade partner. I don't want to sit next to someone, but it feels like there's a lot of weight to this choice. Sam says chosen family is real family. Exactly. And it also, like, it just doesn't... wait, who cares? I'm going to be friendly. I'll be a guest. I don't really want to sit next to someone, but... Kayama says the mayor seems like she'd be a very dangerous person to underestimate. She's clearly accustomed to power and command. Yes. Rowan says be her guest. Yeah. I think that was the right choice. The flowing water hits silently the rocks and wooden stakes surrounding the isle, then splits into 2 stream beds. In Hovlaven, the river is surrounded by tall walls, protecting the banks from deterioration, and the water is seldom free of dirt. Here, the smell is as fresh as it would be in the woods. The mayor observes your outfit carefully, maintaining a polite though cool smile. Once your eyes meet, she hardly ever looks away. I'm sure you're hungry. My husband will bring us something soon. I appreciate it. Do not mention it. Hunger makes me peevish, and the day is too nice for that. She taps her chest and looks at a flock of birds that fly above you loudly, heading south. As we're waiting, be so good as to help me understand something. Even if you're but a mercenary, I can't imagine a single reason for you to choose this realm for your wardening, near so long after Asterian's disappearance. There's nae glory or treasures to find here. Her pale fingers form a tent on her stomach, then clasp, leaving the forefingers pointing at you. You were sent here by the merchants. They want the peninsula. I think I was sent here by the merchants, and they do want the peninsula. Friendly? I represent Hovlavin's interest as an opportunity. Playful? I portray the situation as lightly as I can. I think that would be a mistake with this woman. Distanced? I simply explain the situation. I quite like that one. Intimidating? I make it clear that collaborating with the city would keep her people safe. No. Vulnerable? Well, she caught me. I don't hide the fact that the guild needs new opportunities. Vulnerable seems okay. Would you say vulnerable or distanced? Or what was friendly? Friendly's also good. Those are kind of the options right now. Do we want vulnerable, distanced, or friendly? Put your votes in chat. Quarrel says, aha, the mayor gets hangry. Rowan says, I like vulnerable this time. I thought it sounds right in this situation. Like, I don't want to hide the fact that, I'm recognizing in this vulnerability that she's, she knows what's up. Kayama says, I'd vote distant. She seems like she wants to keep this business-like. Maybe, but she's offering me free food. Rowan says vulnerable or friendly, but I lean towards vulnerable because we don't pick that one much. That's true. Jabal votes distance. That's 3 votes. Okay, I'm going to take this d4. And a 4 I reroll. 1 is friendly, 2 is distanced, and 3 is vulnerable. One. We're going to be friendly. I present Hovlavin's interest as an opportunity. You introduce yourself and touch on the more obvious sides of the potential deal with the guild and the city chief. The troops, their pay, and the patrols they would establish. The overview of taxes. Trade routes would bring new life to this place. You try to sound warm. It's a win-win. Throughout your speech, the mayor observes you patiently, without interruptions. I see, she finally responds. As she observes your palfrey, she twists her deer buckle left and right. If it was that simple, I'd be eager to applaud. But it is never that simple, is it? Her eyes fill up with melancholy despite her smile. I appreciate that you're coming with a carrot, not a stick. But when it comes to the guild, there's always a catch. Her accent is now almost identical to the one used in the city. Ooh, interesting. Okay, what sort of a catch? I'm telling you everything I know. I can't ask you to trust me, but I'm not hiding anything. You don't have to trust anyone blindly. The negotiations can satisfy both sides. You're speaking from experience, I assume. I think I want to acknowledge that this is coming from somewhere, right? You're speaking from experience, I assume. Do I really sound that confident? She titters and waves her hand by her chin, as if you just offered her a compliment. I've seen such negotiations during my studies, though I can't say I took an active part in them. Let me show you an example. She theatrically clears her throat, patting her chest with one hand and covering her mouth with another, then leans forward and rests on her elbows, allowing her hands to freely make gestures. You make a deal with the settlement. Flour and wool in exchange for coin and tools. You send the first traders and they imply that you're ready to pay more for, let's say, parchment. Months later, you want no more rye, just the parchment and wool. We can't butcher any more mouflons, the locals say. Don't worry, you answer. We'll send you a small flock. Just turn one of your fields into a pasturage. As she pretends to speak as different characters, her voice comically shifts, and she has no issue switching between accents. I encourage her with a kind smile. She swings her hand above the table. Another year goes by, and while there's more parchment, the village lacks some crops. The tribe needs not just tools and coins, plenty of coins, but also seeds, and the guild is not satisfied. Sending our wagons costs a lot, and there are more highwaymen now. If you want us to come again, you need more mouflons, and to sell us their cheese. And guess what? With a haunting laugh, she straightens up and spreads her arms like someone a third her age. Turns out that the village can't say no anymore. They lack supplies, seeds, and land. They can't refuse. I nod. She's right, and it's better not to say something stupid. Don't you think the city would see value in keeping you strong? Fewer risks for them. I smile. I have no doubt that a smart leader like yourself is going to protect her people from these games. No, I don't know. I don't know how much I want to make this trade deal. If they're happy, why do they have to make a deal with Hovlavin? Let them live. Calmly Enveloped says games stop being ableist about those that can't see. Challenge 2022. Absolutely. It's very embedded in the in language. I've been trying to strip it myself. I'm not sure what to say here. Rowan says encourage her. I kind of wonder about nodding and saying she's right and not saying something stupid, but... Nine says, I don't think flattery option is going to win her over. Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah, let's nod. I'm keeping my mouth shut. The pause doesn't linger for long. I see we understand each other. Let's finish the introductions. I'm Thias, one of the keepers of Ape Ale Inn and the mayor of Howler's Dell. I assume it would be convenient for you to take my answer back to Hovlavin. She wonders for a moment. Say, when could we expect the first caravan? After winter? It depends on what you can sell and what you want in return. While the conversation goes on, the food gets served. Full tummy! Yes! The refreshing aroma of roasted mutton, covered with a thick sauce made of mint, parsley, and honey, tempts you to bite in right away. The juices are sinking into the round trencher, a plate made of simple brown bread. There's also a small bowl filled with chopped red radishes, and a sliced boiled egg, and a mug filled with cold buttermilk. It's all brought by a few young people, all of them referring to the mayor as their mother. And in the end, the innkeeper himself shows up to wish you a good meal. He's wearing a clean orange tunic and a not-so-clean apron made of hemp. He politely introduces himself as Eric's, and after confirming you won't get sick from what he prepared, he leaves you and his wife to your conversation. Thias tears the meat into smaller pieces, then eats slowly, often expressing her enjoyment with a hum. Meanwhile, we get to the important stuff. This is interesting. I like this. Sounds like the nearby ground is fertile. The village would gladly pay its taxes in grain and vegetables, with the expectation that a squad of soldiers would provide additional protection. Our youth is strong, she claims proudly, so we don't need your guards on our walls. But a lone Roadwarden won't keep the roads passable. We need fighters willing to patrol the paths, maybe even the heart of the woods. That's what we'd expect in return. You're not an expert when it comes to linen, cheese, and wool, so the mayor spends a good couple of minutes describing the outstanding quality of what the village has to offer, especially the clothes, which are meant to be as unique as those made by Master Crispus. You vaguely recognize the name of this tailor shoemaker, but you've never earned enough to pay him for as much as a single sleeve. And of course, we will never reject some steel and bronze. We lack alloys for sickles and scythes. She then repeats her question about starting a trade route. Truth be told, the guild is not sure what the peninsula has to offer. It's going to take more than your village to convince them. Alright, I'm going to save here, everyone. And, I think that's it for today. This has been, honestly, really fun. I am really, really enjoying this game, and I am definitely looking forward to more of it next week. In the meantime, thank you very much for your company and for your help making all of these very tense decisions. I hope that you have a lovely rest of the week, and maybe I'll even see some of you on Friday. Anyway, I hope you can all rest well and feel refreshed. And yes, Rowan, now it is time to write for a great many of us. Goodbye, everyone.